This is the story that has me fired up tonight. Republican governor of New Jersey, Chris Christie. I mean, this guy is nothing but a big bully. He's throwing his weight around again, this time in California. Christie was out stumping for billionaire gubernatorial candidate Meg Whitman in Hollywood when he talked down a man in the audience who was just trying to get Whitman to answer a question. Here it is.
Hey, listen, you know what? You want to yell at me. But don't give her a hard time. We're here talking about the future of the state of California and the future of our country. And you know what? Let me tell you this. You know what? It's people who raise their voices and yell and scream like you that are dividing this country. We're here to bring this country together, not to divide it.
What did he say about raising voices? Christie loves to claim the moral high ground at town hall meetings. He's got a habit of that. Take a look at how he treated a school teacher in his own state earlier this month.
Because of the budget cuts that you have implemented, I'm going to have a hard time paying my bills this year.
Well, a few things. First of all, I have not lambasted the public school system in the state of New Jersey. What I have lambasted, well, listen, let's start with this. I stood here, and very respectfully listened to you. If what you want to do is put on a show and giggle every time I talk, well, then I have no interest in answering your question. So if you'd like to conduct a respectful conversation, I'm happy to do it. If you don't, please go and sit down, and I'll answer the next question.
Oh, this is so typical of the righties. Christie is the golden boy for conservative talkers in this country. All of a sudden, they love this guy because he hates unions, hates teachers, and because he's just Bush on steroids when it comes to tax cuts for the super rich. This morning, when, of course, Glenn Beck saw Christie bullying this guy, he instantly thought Christie should be president of the United States. Beck's sick fascination with Governor Christie, I think, is disgusting. He loves the New Jersey governor so much. He's devoted a daily segment on his radio show. Take a listen.
You know what? I demand on this program a Chris Christie moment every day. Some sort of a common sense. I'm sorry, I'm not into porn, but I want a little Chris Christie porn, common sense porn every day on this program.
Christie porn. It's just a family show, isn't it, Glenn? Now, if Governor Christie wants Democrats to calm down and be respectful, he might want to start with his old buddy Beck himself.
Kathy, get off my phone! Get off my phone, you little pinhead! I don't care. You people don't care about the trillions. Get off my phone!
Oh, yeah, conservative talk show hosts and heavy-handed politicians like Christie just love to tell liberals to calm down and stop their screaming. Christie doesn't, he don't want to take the tough questions from anybody other than somebody on his side. He hides behind his buddies in the conservative media and tells his own constituents to sit down and shut up. Now, Republicans have no moral high ground authority when it comes to political speech in this country. For the last 2 years, Tea Party nut jobs have been screaming down Democrats at town hall meetings. Now the shoe seems to be on the other foot. Christie has no business telling people to be respectful when he's disrespected almost every wage earner in the state of New Jersey. He's nothing more than a really out-of-touch, smug bully. I'm a liberal, and I'm not going to stop screaming about helping the unemployed in this country, or education, or job creation, or racial equality that we need to reach in this country, and, of course, the social justice, which Beck loves so much, right? Here's the bottom line. What we're seeing out of this governor of New Jersey is just go to the money, cut whoever you have to cut. There is no ramification for any of this because he's a cold-hearted fat slob anyway. The bottom line is that when he doesn't like what he hears, he accuses the other side of shouting. It's a typical right-wing approach to the competition. And that's how they view their constituents when they don't agree with them. They view them as competition. I hope that Christie wants to be president of the United States. This is exactly what Democrats need because he represents everything the old Bush thinkers have been putting in front of the American people for a long time. And it won't work. We've got it figured out. Get your cell phones out, folks. I want to know what you think about all of this tonight. Tonight's text survey question is, do you think Governor Christie and Glenn Beck are dividing this country? Text A for yes, text B for no to 622-639. We'll bring you the results later on in the show. Now, that piece of videotape that we showed you, the gentleman that stood up and wanted an answer from the gubernatorial candidate out of California is with us tonight. Ed Buck is his name. Mr. Buck, the California voter who sparred with Governor Christie last night. Mr. Buck, good to have you with us tonight. Did you feel... You bet. Did you feel that you were out of character, out of hand, or somewhat uncontrollable last night at this town hall meeting? Tell us how you viewed this whole thing.
Well, actually, I was quite surprised that Governor Christie would insult Meg Whitman to the point of thinking she couldn't defend herself and had to inject himself into the whole issue. I respectfully sat in my chair and asked Meg Whitman, Meg, are you going to take any questions? We're your supporters. Why won't you take questions after 2 hours? Governor Christie felt like Meg Whitman could not defend herself, and I think insulted all women, but certainly insulted Meg Whitman by being the bully and forgetting about traditional American values like free speech and public discourse, shouted me down, and he did it with a microphone that I didn't have.
Were you rude to him in any way? Here's the videotape we're showing right now. Were you rude to him in any way or overbearing?
Absolutely not. You can see that I kept a respectful distance. He approached me. I didn't approach him. I stood at my chair. He was actually up on the dais speaking down to me. I tried to say to him, this isn't about you. We're in California. This is about the state of California and Meg Whitman's race. I'm a retired multimillionaire former Republican who was looking for someone to vote for in this election, and you can be sure it's not going to be Meg Whitman as a result of what Chris Christie did.
Mr. Buck, what was your reaction when Mr. Christie, the governor of New Jersey, told you that you were the problem in this country? People that stand up, and paraphrasing now, that's pretty much what he said to you, isn't it?
Well, yeah, you know, it's very hypocritical of a man who wants to espouse this whole free speech and that to say that we need to have a dialogue but not have it with me. As soon as he doesn't agree with my speech, he cuts me off. As long as I'm saying, you know, apple pie and waving the American flag, he's okay with that. But if I begin to ask a critical question, Chris Christie becomes a schoolyard bully.
Did you feel like he was bullying you in any way?
Oh, well, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, think about it. This massive man comes off the stage as I'm seated in a chair 4 feet below him. If anybody was the intimidator and the rude person, it was Chris Christie. Look at this.
Did you think that he was doing this just in an effort to get the crowd on his side?
Well, I mean, as I say, I think it was insulting that I was trying to engage a dialogue with the candidate, Meg Whitman, and he was interjecting himself into that and running interference. Clearly, he is afraid of free speech.
Mr. Buck, what question did you want to have answered? You might as well ask it on national television tonight, and maybe Meg Whitman will, maybe her press office, since she's spending millions of dollars to get herself elected as governor, who knows, maybe they're watching and they'll send you a fax or something and let you know. What did you want answered?
Well, more I wanted to say to her who I was. We met on the way in and say to her, you know, I stand with Warren Buffett and with Bill Gates. We don't need a tax cut. We need roads we can drive on without hitting a pothole every 20 feet. We need an education system that is going to provide for people to take care of me when I'm in my old age. So, you know, my message was I wanted to begin a dialogue with her, and I couldn't even begin to talk before Chris Christie decided to bully me out of.
Mr. Buck, I want to say something to you. I did not know that you were a successful man. I didn't know that you were a gentleman of wealth. And I want to compliment you for going, first of all, to a town hall meeting, because a lot of wealthy people in this country, in my opinion, give up. And you haven't given up. and I commend you. You are an American. You've had your success, and you're there looking out for others. God bless you, and keep fighting, my man. I appreciate your time tonight. For more, you bet. For more, let's bring in Bill Press, nationally syndicated radio talk show host and former California Democratic Party chairman. Holy smokes, Bill, did it get that ruckus kind of going when you were party chair out there in California? What do you make of this, Chris? What do you make of this whole thing?
Yeah, well, first of all, Ed, I got to say, we need more Americans like Ed Buck. I mean, God, what a great guy. He's really interested, loves his country, loves his state, interested enough to go out there, try to get a question asked. I'm excited when I see people that interested in politics. Look, let me tell you something, Ed, you got it so right. I mean, Chris Christie is nothing but a big bully. He's called Governor Bully in New Jersey. And that act may work in New Jersey. It doesn't work in California. I mean, Ed Buck said it. In California, we expect a candidate for governor to be able to answer a question. Meg Whitman has spent $119 billion. She will not answer one question from any reporter or any voter. And I'll tell you something else, Ed. If somebody's running for governor, man or woman, we expect them to be able to answer for themselves. And I'll tell you, Dianne Feinstein or Barbara Boxer wouldn't need some bully to jump in and help them out, if you know what I mean. So doesn't play well in California.
What do you make of the arrogant approach of the governor of New Jersey, and also the fact that the candidate Meg Whitman was silent? I mean, doesn't that kind of speak to her character and her history of being a CEO and manipulating people in the workplace?
Oh, no, absolutely. And it also speaks to her total lack of qualifications for taking the job of governor of California. Ed, she has spent $119 billion. As I said, she will not answer one question. It's obscene. She's trying to buy this election. And here's what's interesting. She's been up on the air running spots for a year. Right? Jerry Brown has spent about $12.39, and the two of them are tied in the polls. So nobody is buying this. I mean, you cannot buy the governorship of California. I'll tell you, the other thing, Ed, is the fact that Glenn Beck likes Chris Christie. Of course he does. He's a bully, too. You've got people every night on this show that disagree with you, and you have a good dialogue. Have you ever heard anybody or seen anybody who disagrees on Glenn Beck or Bill O'Reilly or Rush Limbaugh or Sean Hannity? No, they're all bullies, they're all cowards, they're all alike. That's why they like Christie.
Bill Press, great to have you with us tonight. Thank you, my friend.